Do you think you can drink tea through a straw? That way I won't ruin my lipstick. Hi everyone, Charlene here. Hope all finds you well. My gift to you today is my three-step process around overwhelm. Anybody can get overwhelmed, and we can get overwhelmed about anything. In fact, I do believe I've been overwhelmed about being overwhelmed. I want to paint you a picture. Imagine this. I've lived in a house for 24 years. It's got 15 rooms, and I'm a hoarder. Up until now, I've managed to keep it pretty quiet and hidden. Not everybody knows. It's like a secret. And then I need to move out of the house. So that brings everything to the surface. That creates a massive amount of anxiety and a complete state of overwhelm. So I came up with this three-step program. It got me through and out the other side, and I still use it today. So I'm going to share this with you today. So it's a three-step program. Step number one is breathe. What happens when we get anxious, when we get overwhelmed? We start breathing very shallow. And that's not going to help you think better. It's going to make things worse. So the first thing is nice big deep breaths. Yeah, step number one, breathing through the nose to the count of 4. A gentle hold, not a hold, just a gentle hold for 2. And then an audible sound of breathing out. When you breathe in, your ribs need to expand so that breath is getting really nice and deep. And then it needs to be audible, so if someone was sitting next to you, they could actually hear you breathing out. And I would do that until I needed to, until I was in a calm place, until I could start to think straight. Sometimes it would take a little while. Step number two would ordinarily, or according to everyone else, write a list. But I found writing a list would put me into a greater state of anxiety, like totally tip me over the edge. I would get overwhelmed about the list. So I do mind maps. So mind maps are fun. They're coloured textures. They're pictures. It's fun. So in the middle here, you put the end goal. So my end goal was to move into my new home, and you could put a cloud around that or a love heart, whatever works for you. And then from that, each section that needs to be taken care of. So in this case, because it was moving out of the home, it was the 15 rooms for the house, and then the outside area and the garage, and the carport. So, and then for each of those rooms, so say this is the dining room, I would have inside of there little tendrils coming out of that with all of the things that would actually need to be addressed for that particular room. And yes, some rooms had similar things that need to be dealt with and sometimes not. But it allowed me to break everything down, made it fun, made it colourful, and just took the anxiety out of the event. And step number 3 was visualization. I fantasized every day about the house that I was going to live in, what it looked like, what it smelt like, what the gardens looked like, and I ended up moving into that home. So call it fantasy, call it visualization, it works. So that's my 3-step program. Breathe, the mind map, and then the visualization. I hope you found this helpful. Bye for now.